more fear. We're not fearing any. Fear will not stop you. Fear will not stop me. Everybody say anywhere.
Anywhere.
But back.
But backwards. Anywhere but backwards. Anywhere but
backwards. Don't back down. Don't back down from what's confronting you. Confront it. Amen. Stop telling God about how big your problems are. Start telling your problem how big your God is. Don't back down.
Amen. That's a good one right there, my brother. Yes.
They say no more fear.
No more fear.
Let's go. Minor adjustments is dedicated. What page we on?
36.
I know that's right. I know that's right. Let's go. The minor adjustments is dedicated to preventing and reducing crime. Our primary purpose is to teach men and women how to make the minor adjustments that are necessary in their lives, which will allow them to obtain and maintain a productive lifestyle after incarceration and or rehabilitation. Our motto is, Lord, if they ain't get anything, they got that. Everybody say anywhere. But back. Say anywhere. But back. Backwards. The Bible says death and life is in the power of our tongues. That's right. Amen. So you got to say it so you can hear it come out your own mouth.
Amen. Amen.
If I say it for you, that's one thing. But what you say is everything.
Amen.
All right.
Everybody say anywhere. But backwards.
But backwards.
To attain my sobriety is easy. Our challenge is to maintain it. To attain our sobriety is easy. Our challenge is to maintain it. The reason why I say that is because most of us, it's easy for us to attain our sobriety. But our problem has simply been in maintaining it. When I obtained my sobriety in August 2009, I did not have to go obtain my sobriety in August 2010. I simply had to maintain it from that point forward. Amen. Once you come into the possession of it, you don't have to go get it again. Amen. You are already in the possession of your sobriety. From this point forward, you need to find out the necessary coping skills or the relapse prevention skills to maintain what you have already obtained. Somebody say, to attain my sobriety is easy.
To attain my sobriety is easy.
Our challenge is to maintain it.
To maintain it.
Amen.
Let it sit in you. I'm telling you, you got it. Everything you need, you're already in possession of. Amen. You just need to apply what you already know. Amen. If you apply what you know at this point, I don't care what your age is, you know enough right now. Amen. No matter whoever's the youngest or whoever's the oldest, both of y'all are in the possession of everything you need not to go back.
Come on.
All right.
Both of y'all. So we're going to go to my expectations for this week, this group, is everyone will learn what they need to learn while they're in their development stage. I'll explain it. It says, always visualize vertically. Always live off of your vision and never live off of your sight. Everybody see where I'm at? Yeah. All right. Your sight shows you what's now, but your vision shows you what's to come. Unbelief in ourselves is so prevalent that I do not wish to say anything that might be interpreted as excusing it. But for all our being so slow to believe in ourselves, I still think that sometimes we blame ourselves for unbelief when our trouble is nothing more than our inability to visualize. Amen. If you have a willing mind and are truly to make some minor adjustments in your life, you will have to learn how to always visualize vertically. Everybody say always visualize vertically. When I said that my expectation is everyone will learn what they need to learn while they're in their development stage, I want to explain to you. Listen to me. When a caterpillar, a lot of people believe that a caterpillar goes from the caterpillar to being the adult butterfly, right? But actually, the caterpillar, they think that's just the two insects that they are. But actually, there's another stage, and the caterpillar is called the pupa. Everybody say pupa.
Pupa.
It's P-U-P-A, pupa. The pupa is when the caterpillar goes into cocoon. When he's in the cocoon, he's in the stage of development. When he's in the cocoon, he's no longer called the caterpillar. He's no longer called the adult butterfly. He is called the pupa. The pupa is the insect that's in the stage of development. I said all that to say this. While you're in this institution, you are in the stage of development.
Amen.
And every individual has to learn what you need to learn while you're in the stage of development. In order for you to grow to be the adult butterfly, you have to get everything you need to go while you are in a pupa stage. You no longer the caterpillar. You the pupa now. But you must get everything you need. If the pupa, the insect, doesn't get or develop as what he needs to develop, it will never go to be the adult butterfly. But God ordained it so that the insect comes from the caterpillar, get what it needs to be developed as the adult butterfly. When it gets to the adult butterfly, he don't need to learn what he needs to learn in the pupa stage. He already developed that. Everybody must learn what you need to learn while you are in the development stage. So while you're here, don't waste time. The people who want to waste time, tell them, listen, I don't have nothing against you, your belief, your race, or where you came from. But I don't have no time to waste.
Amen.
If you have time to waste, I don't have nothing against you. I don't care about where you grew up, how you grew up. I understand all that. I'm just telling you, I don't have no time to waste.
Amen.
I'm in my development stage. I'm trying to be an adult. The pupa is the insect that's in the stage of development. This is your stage of development. When I was in an institution, I developed so I could grow and be who I was supposed to be.
Amen.
I got a book. One of the books I wrote is called God Changed My Name. On the front of this cover is a caterpillar. On the back cover is a butterfly.
Amen.
And the title is God Changed My Name. You keep calling me that when I'm actually this.
Come on.
All right.
But inside the book is all the stages that I took to get to the adult butterfly. That's the stage of development. Each of you must learn what you need to learn. It might be different for him. What he needs to be developed in might be different from him. He might be an excellent father. He just had an issue with drugs. You might have an issue with being a father and drugs. So he don't need to develop where you need to develop. He needs to find out where he needs to develop. So everybody needs to learn what they need to learn while you're in your development stage. And it varies. Y'all got that? Yeah. All right, let's move. Let's go to work.
Bring it on, brother.
Let's go to work, man. I mean, I told you I'll give y'all what I got in my spirit that I use. I'm not only telling you something that I read, I'm telling you something that I actually use and live. And I just put it in a book form so I can be able to. God is always about increase and about giving to other people. So if I would have just kept all this information to myself, it wouldn't have benefited you.
It's true.
It would just been for me. But I don't want that. God never told me to do that. He told me to share it with other people. But you're in possession of it now. You never can say I ain't tell you so. Now, he ain't tell me that. No, I told him, Lord. The word visualize means to form a mental image of something incapable of being viewed or not at the moment visible. It's not visible. Who do you visualize about? Listen to me, y'all. When our dominant desires are bad, our whole life is bad. When the desires are good, our life comes up to the level of our desires. When our desires are bad, we're planning bad, we're trying to do bad. Don't be shocked when you get Yeah, I mean, they smart, man. See, I ain't talking no ignorant people. If your desires are bad, your life is going to end up going in a bad direction. I'm not talking about making mistakes. I'm talking about your dominant desires. You getting up thinking about, you getting up all day thinking about, how can I get over? How can I do this? You're going to end it's going to turn out bad.
Amen.
If your desires are good, like your life comes up to the level of your desires. I want to have a relationship with all my children. I want to be a good husband. I want to be a better son. I want to be a better brother. These are my desires. So eventually, if I have those desires, my life will live up to those desires. You got it? Go ahead. Uh-oh, tag team. This one?
Come on with it. Preach it.
Now, just stay right there what he was saying. I want to just give you, I like examples, right? So, when my husband was in the midst of his addiction and he was using, one thing he would do, and I shared this with a couple of guys last night, when he would steal out the house, steal the jewelry, the money or whatever, and go do whatever he would do, he would come back and look me in my face because he wanted to get in the house and I'm not letting him. So through the screen door, glass door, wherever he was like, I'm not going to always be like this.
That's right.
God's not going to leave me like this. He would say, constantly, do what he was doing, but in the midst of doing it, he would say it so much that I got to the point where you hurry up. So let me tell you this. Remember he said you might want to be a good father. You might want to be a good son. All these things that you might want. So he's playing basketball one time and he tore his Achilles. So he had a boot on.
Oh, no.
Right? So this particular day, not allowed in the house, I worked third shift and we lived in a Cape Cod, so the roof is kind of slanted. So my bedroom was right next to the window on the second floor. With a boot on, because he done been out all night doing whatever he was doing. He climbed on top of the roof.
She telling all my business.
In the rain. In the rain with a boot on. Torn Achilles. Okay?
Yeah.
I'm in the bed because I done worked all night. So my bed was next to the window. He laid on the roof outside my window as if he was laying in the bed with me, just laid there in the rain. So you know what was going on, right?
Oh, yeah.
But you know what he was saying? I just wanted him to go to sleep because I'm like, oh my goodness. This is what he was saying. I'm going to buy you a big house. We're going to get married. I'm going to buy you a big ring. We're going to go around. We're going to be helping people.
That was my desire.
Amen.
I'm talking about in 2006, 2007. This is the stuff that he was saying. This is actually what we're doing now.
Wow. Hallelujah.
That was my desire. I desired it.
But he would say it. He would say it. I'm not telling you that I always believed him. We're not telling you people gonna believe what you're saying, but it don't matter. You keep saying it till you believe it until you see it.
If they believe it or not. You just, if it's your desire, they're not going to always believe. She could not possibly believe we would have the house we have now when I was on that roof with a boot on crack. Like, yo, I'm going to buy you.
And behind your rent, because he don't took the rent money.
And then not only that, right, let me tell you, my desire, look, God Almighty, man.
Oh, my God.
Look at God.
Amen.
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 One point in time when I first gave her a ring, right? And I was on the crack and everything. And one day she was looking for her ring.
Take your time.
And at night, I would watch her, because I was on crack, I would watch her. Like where she puts the ring at night, because at night she hides it. Because she knows I'm on crack, I'm stealing nothing. So one night I played sleep, and I watched her hide it on the top of this cabinet we had. And I got it. She was hurt. But I still had the desire to tell her, I'm going to get you such a big ring.
Right.
I came back. You see what I did? Years later.
Hallelujah.
But I messed up. And I thought, but my desire was, I'm going to get you.
Wow.
Check this out. Before I actually got it, what I gave you first?
A card with a picture of a ring.
With the picture of it.
Amen.
I gave her a card
With a picture.
of the ring.
Hallelujah.
Then I came back.
But let me tell you, you have to. When he gave me the card with the picture of the ring, I thought it was beautiful. I loved the card. I liked the idea of the thought. When I looked at the ring, I was like, I'll never get this ring. So I kept the card for years. I'd only had this ring 2 years.
Wow.
So 2 years ago, when he gave me this ring, I just kept staring at it and staring at it. So I went and got the card, and I pulled out the picture. It was the exact same ring.
Wow.
He didn't even realize it. So I said, "Babe, do you know this the same ring that you gave me a picture of?" He's like, "No, it's not." I said, "Look, the exact same ring." Years later.
That's why y'all gotta keep if your desires are good.
Gotta have a desire to do it.
And don't give up on them.
Don't
Don't
give
worry
up.
about the time. You're not thinking about the time
I
when you
did
out
it.
here doing the stuff that you're doing. You're not saying, "Oh, I done did this for this year. I done did it for 2 years. I done did it for 5 years." While you're doing that, the time is just going by. But when you want to change, all of a sudden you want it right
Rush.
now. Give yourself some time.
Wait, it was okay. I did it. And that's why we are testimonies to show individuals, listen, man, I hear what you're saying and I understand about your issues. But you have to visualize vertically. Everybody say always.
Always.
Visualize. Vertically.
Yeah.
And it was awesome how I did it. I went to the store, to the jewelry store. I said, listen, I want to get this ring and everything. So I take her down to the jewelry. We go down there. It was the anniversary, your birthday, something. And I said, come on, we're going to the jewelry store. No, I said, let's go get a massage. I said, let's go to the butcher. We've been running. So we went to the mall. I said, yo, babe, look at this. We went to check out a ring. I said, look at this ring right here, babe. She said, oh, this thing beautiful. I said, try it on. The lady said, you want to try it on? She said, yeah. She tries it on. The lady said, that's yours. Because I paid for it, left it there, and I wanted her to give it to me. I said, keep it in the window. So when she came and she said, you want to try it on? When she tried it on, the lady said, miss, that's yours. She cried. I was like, I got it. I got it now. I was like, it's a wrap. I'm back. Your boy back. Everybody say I'm back. You back. I'm telling you, I'm here to tell you it's not over. It might take time, but you have to visualize vertically.
I don't got to hide this ring.
Yeah. And she ain't got a hot. She know I ain't doing it. But you have to have a vision. You have to have a vision. You have to visualize vertically. I planted the seed. I said it. Then I got a picture. Then I got the ring. But they was in years. But I kept not using.
Yeah.
The kids don't use. You have to start it all over.
Amen.
So now you're 40, 50, like I gotta do this over. No, you gotta start from now.
Yeah.
You have time. It can be fixed. I am your proof. I didn't see it. I just said it.
Amen.
It was my desire. I didn't want to move on. I didn't want to do this. This is what I want. I'm good with this. But you got to have a desire for it. If your desires are good, your life will give up to the desires. Y'all ready?
Yeah.
Man, I'll be excited, you know. Man, I love it, man. I love you guys, man.
That's all right. Yeah.
And I just want y'all to just give yourself a chance, man. The first thing is don't go back.
Anyway, we're back.
Anyway, go back. It says, I'm on page 38. It says, what does your sight shows you? Because you have a vision and you have a sight. Your sight shows you what's now. Your vision shows you what's to come. You get the difference? You have both. What's now is actually real. There's a word, it's called comorbidity. This word means, I've just found out the word, the definition of it is two or more issues occurring in one person at the same time. They can occur at the same time or one after the other. These two things can happen at the same time. So you got your sight and you got your vision. My sight was my present situation. I didn't have the ring, but I said, Miss, can I have a catalog with the ring in it? She said, what you want that for? I said, I'm going to cut the picture out and put it in the birthday card. She said, okay. She probably thought this joke was a fool. You think a woman going to fall for that? She didn't know about my vision. She didn't know about my plan. She didn't know I had a vision. And it wasn't nothing against her, but you have to have it.
Yeah.
That's why I say, while you in here, write it down. You see stuff in the magazine, cut it out. People gonna think you crazy. They thought I was too until I performed it.
Yeah.
But that's all right. You don't have to control what people think about you. You just have to control what you do.
Yeah.
You can't control people.
Prove the dollar's wrong.
Prove the dollar's wrong. Where does your vision show? What does your vision show you? Miles Monroe said, your vision is a preview of your purpose. So when I would tell her we're going to have this house, we're going to go around helping people, that was a preview of my purpose. It was a vision, but it was a preview of what my purpose was actually going to be. You have the same thing. Nobody can come. When your mom and dad met, God was not thinking about them. He was thinking about you. They was the one who could produce what he wanted to be in the earth. So that's why some of our moms and dads ain't together. Wow. It wasn't about them. It was actually about you. He had you in mind. It wasn't about them. It was about you.
Yeah.
His vision was on you. His love was for you. It's nothing against the mom and the dad, but it's always about you. God has a love and affection for you. Do you believe in yourself? Do you believe in yourself? There's a story that Tony Evans tells. Pastor Tony Evans, he said in one of his books, forgot the title of his book. But anyway, The Measure of a Man, I think it's called.
Yeah.
I ain't sure.
Yeah.
One of them. He had, no, I saw it, Kingdom Man. It's called Kingdom Man by Tony Evans. Great book, Kingdom Men. Kingdom Men by Tony Evans. They had one for wives too, or women too, called Kingdom Woman. Kingdom Men, Kingdom Woman. But anyway, in this particular book, he talked about a kid. He said this kid was coming home from school, or he would come home from school after he'd do his homework, and he would outside, and he would be out there trying to dunk the basketball. And the dad would come home. He would come home, and he would see the kid out there laughing at his son trying to dunk this basketball. So he would go in the house. He would go in the house and sit down, watch TV, read his newspaper, and look out the window, see his son out there trying to run up and dunk this basketball. So one day, week after week, he kept doing it. One day, the dad come home, same routine. He said, hey, son, he out there trying to dunk this basketball. So he goes in the house. The dad goes in, read his paper as usual. His son come running in. Dad, come on. I got it. He said, you finally got your first dunk, boy. He said, yeah. He said, boy, you ain't get it. You was so far away. I just seen you yesterday. You wasn't even close. So he said, Dad, I got it. I did it. Come outside. The little boy got the ball. Sure enough, he went up there like Michael Jordan. Boom! And slammed it. The father went over to the basketball court and put it back up to the original standard and used it as a lesson to teach his son. He said, son, never try to lower the standard and call it success. Instead, live up to the standard that's already set. Amen. I said that to say this. A lot of us keep thinking God's going to lower the standard. It's not happening, buddy boy. We're going to have to live up to the standard that's already set. In the program is not lowering its standards for you. You will have to leave before the standard gets lowered. You just have to develop and live up to the standard that's set. Am I saying you have to be perfect? Absolutely not. God seen the whole parade. He knew you wasn't perfect already. But you still have to live up to the standard that's set. In here, in your life, there are standards. There are boundaries. We cannot keep lowering the standard and then say, I dunked the ball. No, you didn't.
Yeah.
You keep trying to cheat and call it success. You have to live up to the standard. The standard is, in our era or in our field, we can't use. We can't lower the standard and say, I'm going to use on the weekend. I'm going to sneak and do it. No, you're trying to lower the standard. We have to keep the standard where it is, live up to that standard, and maintain on that level.
Amen.
Everybody, you cannot lower the standard. The boy lowered the court and said, I did it. No, you didn't. He said, crank that thing back up to 10 feet. You cranked it down to 5. I'm talking about I did it. What happens when... No. The standard set, you have to live up to the standard. And it's not wrong to have structure. Man, structure challenges us. Everybody has structure. We don't like to be accountable. You have to be accountable. When I go somewhere, when I leave my house, if I'm going to another town, I call my wife or text her, y'all, I'm going to this town. When I'm leaving the town, I'm leaving the town. Because if something happens, stuff happens. We have to be held accountable. It's nothing wrong. That's submission. That's surrender. When you're able to be held accountable to a certain standard and you live up to the standard. We keep trying to lower the standard, but we have to make the minor adjustments and live up to the standard that's set. The rules that are in this facility are in this facility for a reason. We keep trying to get around the rule. And I told you, if you break the rules in here, you what? Boy, they got it, Lord. We did good. Boy, they get yourself. If you break it in here, there's no way for you to just turn it on and say, now I'm going to be a law-abiding citizen. Nope, you're going to start doing everything you did. You got to learn. Again, I'm not saying I'm perfect. We all make mistakes. We all do things. That's not what I'm saying. God sees the whole parade. He knows we're not going to make everything right. He's saying that having a dominant desire of doing wrong. You have a desire. Every day I wake up, I want to do this, I want to do this. And they all wrong. Right. Mm-hmm. That's trying to lower the standard. Page 39.
So PRT is a good thing.
Yeah. Perfect. You would be surprised at how many people don't move forward in life because of how they see themselves. You have to see yourself more than you have to see yourself free from being in bondage. See yourself more than a conqueror. See yourself as the parent that you always wanted. See yourself free from coming back here. Or just see yourself doing something positive in your community. See yourself being responsible. See yourself being the children your parents raised you to be. See yourself as a better person. Close your eyes and see yourself doing it. You have to vision. You have to have a vision. Sometimes you get by yourself and you might not have no TV. You might not have no radio. You might not have anything. Close your eyes and start visualizing yourself. Visualizing what you want. Whatever you desire, start seeing it. It's like a calm scene. You on the beach. Just start closing your eyes and see it. You have to start seeing it in your mind's eye before it comes to fruition. You have to visualize. Always visualize. Always. I'm a vision person. I always visualize.
And to add on to that, think about it. You already do just this thing. You already visualize it. Everything you do begins with a thought. So if you woke up this morning and you thought, well, you know what, I want to take a hit. You already thought about it. You thought that that's what you wanted to do. So you visualize, I'm here, I want this, right? So now you start thinking about how you want to get it. You see yourself, you know what, I'm going to go down the street. I know they got this outside. If I walk by real quick, I can snatch it. I know this lady be here this time. She alone. You visualize everything and then you go do it. So do that for the better you.
You already do it.
Right.
You already do it.
Right.
So visualize it for the better you. Like you just said, everybody close your eyes and visualize.
Doing something that you really, truly desire. You gotta
Visualize.
See it.
See it.
See yourself with your children. See yourself
Take
with
a
your
moment
marriage
and
story.
actually
See it.
visualize that better you.
Smiling.
Don't let it scare you. Don't think it's impossible because it is. But see it. See it. See you doing it. See you having it. Take that time and see it. Now you keep that picture in your head, store it. Every time something happens, let it pop up in your head. Be selfish with it. One thing you gotta do, when my husband was on the right track and he had something in his mind that he wanted, he was so selfish about it. He couldn't worry about me. He couldn't worry about the kids. He couldn't worry about what mom said or this person said. He was so selfish for himself. Don't get trapped up when you get a little bit of clean time and now your mind is a little clearer. So now you're trying to handle everybody else's affairs and your own. You can't. You can't. You can't get in here and still try to control everybody else and tell everybody else what they need. You can't. You got to get what you need for you. Because when you was out there, you didn't care. The kids needed medicine. You took the money and went and did what you did with it and didn't even get the medicine. The rent had to get paid. You went and got high with the rent money. Or you didn't come home from work at all. You did not care how many tears your mom shed or your girlfriend shed or your wife shed. So don't get in here and now you care. You got to be selfish just like you was for that thing. Be selfish for the good in you.
Amen.
Yeah.
And in time, they will see.
Yeah.
And that was one of the things that happened when my husband would go on programs, get 20 days, 21 days clean, 30 days clean. Then he want to come home and try to control everything. No, Joker. You want everybody to talk to me because I'm the one got the problem now. Now you want everybody to talk to her. She won't let me. I'm the man. Yeah, you are. But let me see that. Let me see that.
And then it'll come a time when she said, after she started to see me maintain what I always was saying about recovery being clean, when she seen it, I remember one day she said, I was saying something to her and she was complaining about something and I was like, what you want from me? And she said, I just want to be the woman. I said, man. So it done shifted, whereas though she like, yo, just let me be the woman and you do everything else and I support you. But it had to get, before I was trying to say, no, this is how we doing it, this, that, and as soon as I say something, or it's funny now, because when I say something, or we out of line, or I say something out of order in the home, or we're going to do something, and she said, well, as the man goes. So she said, if it's wrong, she said, well, if it's wrong, you don't want to leave it. I was like, oh, shit. But you see, you have to allow that to happen, though.
But in the beginning, you got to be selfish for you. I'm telling you.
Focus on you.
For you. He couldn't give me what I needed. Even though I might have wanted the attention, I might have wanted the sweet words, I might have wanted him to hear my tears and keep saying he's sorry, he's sorry, he's sorry. You know, that wasn't going to change our situation. He had to stay clean. He had to let God show him who he was created for because of the things that he was brought up around, things that he saw, things that he was exposed to, the things he exposed himself to, the things he subjected himself to, the things that he put inside his body, the things that he did, the things that he hid. That had created a whole nother person. And now God had removed some things and God had to take the time to show him who he really was. And I'm over here thinking I'm in love with this man. In all actuality, that wasn't the man that I loved. That was the man that was hiding the man that I loved. So give yourself some time.
Wow. Who's the man now?
Mm-hmm.
He the man now.
Your boy's back. I'm back.
Give yourself some time.
You know, one of the things that I'm exceedingly happy for, that God has brought y'all together and through the issues, because you see so many relationships like that, they don't come together.
Sure.
You know, so I'm glad to see y'all because it is, teaching and because relationships are painful. Painful areas in this stage, but to see, to actually see it. I'm really happy for y'all. I just want to say
you, man.
Thank you so much. All glory to God. And that's what we want to be. We are only here as an example of what God can do with a mess. When I tell you he was a mess.
She was terrible. I'm telling you, I was like this.
It was a mess. Right? But only what God can do. That's what we want to do. Inspire hope. To show you that God can do it. But he had to do it individually before he could do it collectively.
Each person. person have to get focused, because if anybody put anything in front of God, it ain't gonna work anyway. So if the woman is constantly complaining to God about the husband, and the husband is constantly complaining to God about the wife, God is sitting there like, listen, as soon as you move them off the throne, it'll work. Because a lot of times we put other things or other people on the throne, and God said, you're missing the whole concept. The minor adjustments that we have to make is always visualize. Y'all got it?
And for those of you that are sitting in here, because I wanted to say this at the beginning, everybody that came to the Salvation Army has not accepted salvation. Everybody that came here came for different reasons. Everybody didn't come for the same reasons. Some people came to hide out. Some people came to get out the cold. Some people came because they want hope. And some people just came because I ain't got nothing to do right now. Probation might be on me. I got to do this to stay out of trouble. It's all kind of reasons of why you are here.
Amen.
And so everybody here, even though this is the Salvation Army, everybody here does not exactly believe what's in that word. Amen. You might have other gods that you worship in your own time. That's fine. We're not here to make you or change you to anything. You are allowed to worship the God of your understanding. Amen. But what we want to tell you is make sure that whatever it is that you think is God, make sure you got some evidence that it works.
Amen.
We just let y'all know what we believe, and we let you know that what we believe
works.
Amen. Amen.
We're showing you evidence that
it works.
God, Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior,
Amen.
Works.
Amen.
That's all we want to be. And that's all we want to inspire you to do. Because the same thing you see in us, somebody else is waiting to see in you. Amen. Somebody we can't reach, you can reach.
Yeah.
Amen.
You can reach the people we can't. And they're waiting on you. I told you, the influence, the power of influence that you have, all the people that know your name in the community, I don't care if it was for bad. It's not that they know you for bad, it's that you control the power of the influence of that community. Wow. The reason why everybody in your community know you is because God placed you there and gave you the influence. Amen. But you have to use the influence you have the right way.
Amen. Yeah. And how much power is that?
You know that everybody in your neighborhood know you. Why everybody know you or your family? Right. That's because you have the power of influence. Page 39, it says, you will be surprised at, 15 minutes is moved. You will be surprised at how many people you don't move forward in life because of how they see. We did that. All right, down the bottom it says, the things we see now are here today, going tomorrow. But the things we can't see now will last forever. Amen. It's a book that my friend, author Shalanda Austin's book, her title of her book is Say It Till You See It. And she said in her book, she says, get a mental picture of yourself being successful, then ask God for direction, resources, and whatever else you feel will make that vision come to fruition. Amen. She said, you get a mental picture of what you need, ask God to give you the direction and the resources and everything else you think you need to make it come to fruition. Mm-hmm. Say it till you see it. Amen. You got to say it till you see it. When you got the vision, now you start saying it. Amen. I used to tell my wife, I won't always be on drugs. I won't always be on drugs. I would say it after I stole money out of her pocketbook and smoked some crack. I won't always be on drugs. I won't always be on drugs. I said it until I seen it. I looked like a fool saying it. But so what? It wasn't about who was thinking I was a fool. It was about me. 40. Thought for today. Visualize this thing that you want. See it, feel it, and believe in it. Y'all see where that at? Mm-hmm. Make your mental blueprint and begin to build. Hopefully y'all read that last chapter, Living Victorious. Whoever did, good. If not, read it tonight. Unit 2. Always visualize verse 41. As long as you keep staring and staring at the obvious, you will never be able to see the forest for the trees. Always live off of your vision and never live off of your sight. Your sight shows you what's now, but your vision shows you what's to come. Amen. Right now, your sight shows you that your current situation is what your current situation is. And it's true. But your vision shows you where you could be, And that's also true. Don't waste time on small dreams. Dream big. It's nothing wrong with small dreams. But if it's your dream, then why not dream big?
Amen.
Always visualize vertical. The word vertical means a vertical or upright position. Always being in the same direction. You always want to get around people who are going in the same direction you are trying to go in.
Amen.
You're not looking down on people if you don't have them in your circle. You want to put the people in your circle who is always looking or going in the same direction. Again, I don't look down. I'll be the last person to ever look down on somebody because I know how much I have been forgiven.
Amen.
But I only have people in my circle who are trying to go in the same direction I'm trying to go in.
Amen.
If you're not ready to go into the direction I am going into, I do not look down on you. I just tell you, catch up to me later because I'm down here.
Come on. Yeah.
You have to always look in the same direction or always have people who is trying to go in your direction. They might not be in the same stage as you, but you can tell if they simply not trying to go where you're trying to go.
Amen.
Conversation will let you know that. Every time they get around you, they want to tell how bad the program is. What's wrong with the program? What they can fix about the program. Well, why don't you just open up the program and run it how you think?
Man.
I don't want to hear all that. I don't want to hear about that. If you're trying to go this way, we can't. This is a stage of development. This is where we develop. I'm not saying you can't have your own program or nothing. Yes, you can. But this is the time for you to develop that. This is not the time for you to control this program.
Amen.
It's not the time for you to do. This is your stage of development. This is the place that God has placed for you to develop. And you need to develop everything that you need to do while you're here.
Hallelujah.
What do you want to be? Visualize success. This ain't in your book. It says one powerful way to discover your strength is to visualize success. To visualize is to create a vivid picture in your mind's eye. When you visualize, you see yourself doing something that's important to you. When you visualize, you're seeing something that's important to you. Don't visualize about something that's not important to you. If getting your marriage is restored, you can visualize about that. If getting your children back in your life, you can visualize about that. No matter what it is, it has to be important to you, not the man sitting next to you. Because he might be like, I'm cool, my relationship is great, I just got this issue. But you have to visualize about what's important to you. This is important to me. This means something to me. This is a part of my foundation. If I don't get this right or if I don't develop in this area, it's not going to work for me. What's important to you? Everybody has something that's important, but you have to visualize that. Whatever is important to you. What direction, we're going to go to, what direction are you always looking at? There's I'm studying so much now, and I was studying something that's called solution-focused therapy. And I like it. This is why I like it. Solution-focused therapy. It says the emphasis is on the present and the future at the same time devouring the past.
Wow.
It said this solution-focused, everybody say solution-focused therapy. Say solution-focused therapy. You notice it doesn't deal with the problem. It said this type of therapy put emphasis on the present and the future and devour. It said forget that.
Amen.
The solution is in the present and focus on the future. The solution-focused therapy. It said forget the past. When I read that, I said, man, anywhere but backwards. That's the first thing I thought. I said, wow, I never knew that it was a thing called solution-focused therapy. It doesn't care anything about the past. It put emphasis on the present and the future. Look it up. Study it, y'all. This is stuff you got to feed your brain. It's called solution-focused therapy. Study it. Just read it. Find anything. You got the internet. You can find books. You can find free material to read about it. It's solution-focused therapy because everybody in here already know what your problem is. You need to find the solution. Solution-focused therapy. And we're going to do, where does your vision say you should be? There's a, the thermostat is the difference about the thermostat and the thermometer. The thermostat actually sets the temperature in the room. The thermometer reflects the temperature that's set. In our lives, a lot of times we getting around individuals and we reflecting off of what they're doing. We need to be the individuals who get in and set the temperature. Meaning, don't go around people and try to pick up what they're doing. You get in it. If everybody in here is talking about your leaders and you and me come in the circle and they're talking about the leaders of this facility, when you get in the circle, they should stop talking about the leadership. Listen, man. If they don't stop, if they're comfortable to talk about them and with you, when you're not around and you do something wrong, you know what they do? You have to set the temperature in the room. A thermostat and a thermometer are two different things. One sets the temperature, one reflects the temperature that's set. When I come around somebody and they're talking about individuals, I want the conversation to stop because I want to set the temperature. I don't do this. I don't want you to do that because as soon as I turn my back, you'll talk about me.
Amen.
So I want to set the temperature. When I come, you better shut up because I don't talk about my pastor like that. I don't talk about my bosses like that. I don't talk about people's wives like that. I don't do it. So when you come into the situation, you set the temperature. Let them reflect off of you. If you bring a positive vibe, let them come off of you. If they bring in a negative vibe and you take their negative vibe, then you letting them set the temperature for you. Amen. You don't want them to do that. You want to be the one to set the temperature and let it reflect off of your positive. Come on, y'all. You set the temperature, let them reflect off of you. When you come in the building, when you come in the room, when you come in the house, you want your house in order, you just be a certain type of way, and they'll start being, and you don't even have to tell them how you do something, how we should do it, as long as you're setting the right temperature. I remember my wife said something, and I love when she said it. She said, your faith feeds me. Because if I got faith for something and I'm believing for something, she said, that feeds me. Because that's what I said. I show faith. So my faith feeds, if I was showing something else, she said, your negative attitude is it's feeding me. You set the temperature. All of y'all control the temperature, the atmosphere, the places you are, your rooms, the rooms you're in. If everybody's doing something wrong, again, it's not about looking down on individuals or who may not have the knowledge of what you have, but you set the temperature. If they feel this way, say, you can look at it a little bit different. Or even if you can't look at it different right now, just think about it. Right. Mm-hmm. That's setting the temperature. Let's go. Last page. 43, and we out of here. No. Hold on. I gotta give y'all this last thing. Let's go to, help me, 43. And then we'll come back after lunch, right? Yeah, after lunch. 43, it says, life is one big road with lots of signs. So when you riding through the ruts, don't complicate your mind. Flee from hate, mischief, and jealousy. Don't bury your thoughts. Put your visions to reality. Wake up and live. Keep your dreams alive. Understand to achieve anything requires faith. Everybody say faith. Faith. And believe. Yours in yourself. Vision. Hard work. Determination. And dedication. Y'all need to underline all that right there. Y'all need that. You gotta chew on this for a while. You're gonna have to this ain't gonna, I'm giving it to y'all in a flash, but you're gonna have this book and y'all have to chew on it. Meaning chew on it, y'all know what I mean by that, right? Yes, sir. Okay, you have to read it over and over and over and have it planted inside you. Alright? It says, remember all things are possible for those who believe. And lastly, I want to give y'all this. It's not in your book. On page 44, you can write it under the bottom of the thought for the day. It says, it's important. Y'all see it? The thought for the day is there. It's important to be true to yourself and your vision. You see it?
Yes.
All right, and I want to give you, beware of enemies of your vision. I'm going to give you all these things. You can write them down. Y'all ready?
Yes.
These are enemies of your vision. The vision that I told you, like my wife was saying, put it in your mind's eye. This vision you have, your marriage, your children, whatever it is you got. This is enemies. Number one, disobedience.
Wow.
That's an enemy to your vision. The next one is sin. Anything that would try to get you to go against something that's righteous is an enemy to your vision. Another one, fear, is an enemy to your vision. Another one is discouragement. That is an enemy to your vision. Another one is procrastination. That's an enemy to your vision. Another one is past failures. That's an enemy of your vision. As soon as you start trying to achieve something, past failures will always jump up in your mind. You know why? It's an enemy to your vision. Next one is the opinions of others. What other people think about you is an enemy to your vision. If I do this, what they going to say if I stop talking like that? What if I stop cursing it? What are they going to say? What are they going to call me? Opinions of others is an enemy. Another one is distractions. Is an enemy to your vision. Another one is success. That's an enemy to your vision. You know how he said, I'm fearing succeeding. That's why when he said it, a lot of y'all said stuff, right, that I had written down. And that's why I know that you have what you need already. Y'all already know it. Y'all just got to apply it. Another one is tradition. Tradition is an enemy to your vision. If we get locked in a traditional sense and say, this is how they always did it, this is how we always do it, this is how so-and-so did it, this is how the past leadership did it, this is how, that's tradition. We understand that. We're trying to do something different. That can be an enemy to your vision. Another one is a wrong environment. You keep putting yourself in a wrong environment, and that's an enemy to your vision. I told you, you have to set the temperature. If you're getting into an environment and they are just setting the temperature and you're reflecting their negative vibe, you are in the wrong place. Come on, y'all got it. Next one is comparison. Remember my wife told you, don't compare your success to ours. That's an enemy to your vision. You keep comparing, well, I don't measure up to them. It's not about you measuring up to us. We measure up to God's standard. You can do the same thing. He set a standard. That's it. It's not other people. It's God's way of doing it. Another one is opposition. Is an enemy to your vision. When you face some type of opposition, you back down. But we already told y'all earlier, no more fear. So when you get opposition, just take a breath, think about how you're going to actually do it, pray, and keep going forward. Next one is society's pressure. You trying to do things too fast because society thinks you should have been had it by now. Yeah, how old is you? You stand that up. Be quiet. Listen, that's pressure from society telling you how you should have been it, how you should have got it. I should have knew it by this time. I'm this old. That's pressure from society. It's too late for me to get it at 20. I'm 50. You keep telling me about what I should have did at 20. Society pressure. So let's go. Let's read them off and then we're done from there. You got something? All right. Let's read them off. What's the first one?
Disobedience.
Second.
Sin.
Third.
Fear.
Fourth.
Discouragement.
Fifth.
Procrastination.
Next.
Past failure.
Next.
Opinions of others.
Next.
Distraction.
Next.
Success.
Next.
Tradition.
Next.
Wrong environment.
Next.
Comparison.
Next.
Opposition.
Next.
Desire.
Bring yourself around.